Hello, Pink Sisters. This is Charlotte. I am on day 5 after surgery for the first step of the Mi-Diep procedure at Penn Medicine, and that is where they did the mastectomy, and they did some incisions in my stomach to get that ready for my blood vessels, ready for my transference, which will be in a couple of weeks. They also installed expanders, which are basically plastic bags filled with air. And I have to say, I am kind of amazed so far that I am day 5, and I'm also officially only taking Tylenol for pain right now. And I'm a big believer in medication and in science and medicine. I always tell people if you need medicine, you should give it to yourself. There's no reason not to use it. But I genuinely just don't need it right now. I've been up walking around all day long, and I'm trying not to overdo it, but I also want to walk around if I feel like walking around. And I have to say, it's really kind of amazing considering all the things that were done to my body when my first operation happened, and I can only credit that to my amazing team at Penn Medicine, and obviously the genius work that Dr. Sataloff and Dr. Kanchwalla must do on an operating table. I know this is not going to be everyone's experience, but this has been mine, and I have made some missteps along the way that I think have probably hindered some of my recovery, and I hope to share those with you. So I hope that this video will help you in some way. I'll start off first by saying that when I was in recovery, I woke up and I work out pretty regularly, and to me, anytime that I wake up and I have what feels like sore muscles, it's a natural thing for me to want to stretch. So as soon as I woke up, that's the first thing that I tried to do. I wanted to stretch the chest muscles in my underarms because they felt very sore. So to me, it felt very natural to lift my arms above my head to try to stretch them as much as possible because it relieved that tightness. And that's not something you're supposed to do. I remember I told the people, my nurses helping me, that it felt really good, and they were like, you really should wait to move your arms until you talk to the occupational therapy. And I was like, okay, as I sat there with my arms above my head. So from what I've read, I'm not a doctor, but from what I've read, that can create some damage or some issues with fluid buildup, and there's good reasons they tell you not to do that once you do see your occupational therapist, but the occupational therapist did not come and see me until I had been in the hospital right before release. So during that time period, I was doing a lot of moving of my arms that I should not have been, and they were coming in and giving me medications every couple of hours, and they would tell me what they were giving me, but I was not fully cognizant or in a state that I would very easily remember what they were giving me at, say, 3 in the morning or like 7 a.m. after surgery. And when they came in to release me, they had the OT person go over all of this stuff with me. She was amazing, but once again, I was not completely all there. I was still taking tramadol at the time, so like I was a little high. And then at that point, they sent in the nurse for giving me all the instructions for care and showing me how to clean my drains before release, and giving me like a mountain of paperwork. And, you know, no matter how much I felt like I was paying attention to it and how much I thought I got it, right, I didn't get it, and I had no idea. And they gave me all these papers, and my husband called me and said he was waiting for me to be wheeled downstairs, and they wheeled me downstairs and they released me to my husband. And I gave him this like mountain of paperwork. I was here you go. I know I took a tramadol this morning for pain and an antibiotic, and I think they gave me like a stool softener, and that's it. And then when I was in the car, I took another one because I knew that I had had it first thing in the morning, so it was probably time for another one. But I really didn't have any idea. And they had also given me ibuprofen, and they told me to cycle it with Tylenol. And if you've never gone through any of this and you've never done any of this, then it's not something that comes naturally to you. It's not that you like know how to do it. So when we got home, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, I had gotten behind on all my pain meds, and I was just like, give me the tramadol, and then, maybe give me the ibuprofen with the tramadol, and then I guess, like, I'll take Tylenol in a couple of hours, and that's what I did the first night, and then I didn't have anything timed out. I didn't know what to do. We were supposed to, like, empty out your drains and write down the numbers on a little chart. I didn't do any of that stuff. I gave it to him to read. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up, and he got busy with our kids, and then the day was gone. Well, that night, I woke up at like 3 a.m., and my pain meds, I'd gotten behind, and I was freezing, and I could hardly move. And I tried to call him, and I guess he couldn't hear it because he was asleep. And eventually I finally got through to him, and he came down and gave me like a tramadol for the pain, and that enabled me to go back to sleep. But then the next day I woke up, and I was finally like clear-headed enough to sit down and say, okay, look, we need to figure this out, because I don't want that to happen again. It is not a good place to be after surgery when you aren't keeping up with your pain meds and you get behind. So we sat down and we figured out that like the best way to do it was to take the tramadol, and that lasts, for me personally, the tramadol, by around 3.5 to 4 hours. It starts to wear off for me. And they only gave me 10 when they released me, so I had already taken, I had already taken 4 at this point, because it was like around lunchtime, and I was like, let's figure this out. So I had 6 left. So I was like, okay, so what we need to do is, since we're supposed to cycle the ibuprofen and the Tylenol, and to me, the ibuprofen, for me personally, helps more with pain, and the Tylenol doesn't seem to do so much. So I was like, okay, Tylenol lasts around 4 to 6 hours. Ibuprofen lasts around 6 to 8 hours. So now that we're starting it now, I wake up normally around 7 a.m., so I'm going to make this to my own schedule. So we had it at like, I took it every 6 hours, roughly. So 4 a day. And then I would take the Tylenol in between during my waking hours. And then I took the tramadol sort of when needed. So the second day I basically, I think I started taking it in the evening. And then when I woke up by the third day, I was like, okay, I think I can probably get away with just taking tramadol, to help me sleep. And by the fourth day, fourth evening, that was last night, all I did was take a trazodone for sleep, and then I took Tylenol, and actually kind of slept through the night, which is pretty awesome. And today, I just took Tylenol when I woke up, and that was at 7. It's now 2 p.m., and I have not taken that any longer. So when we started keeping up with the drains, and we learned a lot about cleaning out drains that the nurses didn't tell us. And it was mainly just because the process changes, and you have the drains in for a minimum of 7 days, right? So I'll probably do a video to show you some of the little tips that we learned about drain cleaning. Obviously I'm not a professional, but just in my experience, having them in, a few things that made it a little bit easier for us, because the process does change while it's in your body, because what's in your body changes as you're going through all this. And I was also thinking about today, one of the things that I wish I'd known was I got all these products and stuff that I thought would make my life easier before I went through surgery, and there's a lot of stuff that I wish that I hadn't gotten because it was just a waste of money, and then there's a lot of stuff that I feel like I wish I had immediately after surgery. I would say first and foremost would be, I have this drain bag. These are little shower bags that you can wear, and these things are awesome because you can like wear them under your clothes, and you can wear them to shower if you get 2 bags, and you can wear them with anything. And then you don't have to buy any like robes with pockets or any of that stuff. I originally, and of course, one of my other favorite things that I got was I found this awesome sale on button-up nightgowns that are super soft. This one is like a white mark and super soft, but beware, it is super soft, but that also means in the beginning we had hooked up my drains with Velcro, and we thought we were really smart because we were putting it through the buttonhole. We had this Velcro setup, and on the first night, I took off my stuff. The second night, I took off all my stuff, and I was like, we need to wash this really fast and then put it back on me, because I change everything every single day just to make sure that it's as clean as possible. And of course, I don't use anything with fragrance to wash it. It's just basic so that I don't have any irritation. And it ripped it apart. And it ripped apart all the other things that were in there as well. I got, so I'm going to have to get like a new set, but I got a bunch of like surgery bras that close in the front, and they gave me this bra from the hospital that was like made of Velcro. I thought that that would come in handy, but it was so painful. I couldn't handle it. And in fact, honestly, if I was still wearing that stuff now, I would still be complaining and saying that I was in an insane level of pain. But luckily for me, when things are uncomfortable, I'm not going to just sit there and allow that. I'm going to find a way to make it more comfortable for myself. And I hope that that will help you. So this bra, this is a true bra. They carry them at Target. It feels like silk. I got like an XL in this, 1XL, and I would say with my expanders, I mean, I'm probably like rocking a B or something, like maybe a 36B. So it's not like the size makes sense, but it is absolutely perfect for putting on over your sore everything and just sort of giving you a little bit of comfort and sort of protection, and keeping your drains in place. Highly 1,000,000% recommends. It's not easy to put on by yourself. I figured out the best way to do it was just to like reach my arms out, and then my husband helps put them over my arms, and then I can actually pull it over my head and very slowly sort of pull it down. But I think if you were by yourself, you could probably step into it and pull it up as well. The other ones that are no matter, and I'll say this, those bras are super soft. I got these amazing super soft bras from Amazon, which I think will be great in like maybe a week or two when the drains are out and I'm feeling like I need a little more support and everything's not so sore. But these true bras, this is a lifesaver. This is game changing. You must have these. If you get out of surgery after your double mastectomy, you will thank me. And then beyond that, I didn't know whenever they released me from the hospital that I was supposed to, when you are able to take a shower and clean and everything, you can clean yourself with a mild soap. So first off, I don't really have any of that stuff because my babies grew up, and I don't have like baby soap or anything like that. So, but you do need some like liquid soap that is, excuse me, I just drink some water. But some kind of mild soap like Dove or something to wash yourself with. So you need that so that you can take your first shower, which you're going to love when you get home. But you're also supposed to wash everything with soap and water. Of course, you're not supposed to let the water run directly on it, but just to clean everything. So once you clean your drain sites, you should also put a piece of sterile gauze over that. And even these true bras, the gauze just kept falling right out. So I would recommend I'm buying some paper tape. I'm going to see how that works. But right now, what I really like to do is I just have some tissues. Like originally I tried paper towels because I thought, well, those are absorbent. So if I leak, it'll keep me from leaking. But they hurt and they're too thick. And I found that just really nice like puff tissues with like aloe and lotion. So I'll put my gauze and my non-stick gauze pad, and then I put a folded up tissue over that, and then I pull my bra down over that, and it helps keep the drains in place, and it helps protect you from leaking. And if you start to leak, that means that you need to really strip your draining tubes. They call it milking, but it's also called stripping. But you need to strip it out thoroughly, because that means something is in there that is clogging it, and that means it's not coming out properly. So it's leaking up here. That also means it's not coming out of your body properly. So you're going to swell up, and it's going to feel terrible. You're going to feel full, and it's going to start to ache, and it's going to start to hurt. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to show you that video about how to properly like strip them, especially once you get to the level that I am, where you're getting not just liquid. Now it's like a mixture of tissue and liquid, and the tissue gets caught in the tubes. And sometimes you have to like disassemble them to get that out, and that it helps so much, because there's been times that I've woken up and it fills up, and it's clogged or it's twisted, and then I can't clean it properly. And honestly speaking, that's been the most, I guess, painful part of the process. And it doesn't really get that bad. It's just like, I mean, I'd say, of course it gets better down the road, but I think I woke up this morning and it was like a little bit stuck, and I had to clean it out really well. And it just made it feel like a little more tight. I'd say maybe like pain level of like 3 or so. It really was not that. It was just uncomfortable, and I knew like I had to do something about it. I was like, I gotta get this clean, because it's hurting. And once again, all this stuff, unless you've been through it, you're not gonna know. So I hope you're learning from, you know, my mistakes, and maybe some of the things that I should have asked, but you don't know what to ask when you're in the hospital either. So I will say, as far as products go, I mentioned the bag. These are awesome. I got these off of Etsy, or Etsy, and the lady who made them was very sweet. She sent me like a little card, and she also sent me a seatbelt cushion. I like these. And there's also a bunch of like things that I bought that I thought had good reviews on Amazon, and like they were on cancer websites, and people on like Facebook social networks were saying they were good products, and they just didn't work for me. They might work for some people, but they didn't work for me. For instance, like the t-shirts and the clothing with the drain pockets on the inside, honestly, I feel like that's a waste of money. You could get a drain bag for like this. They're like $10, $20 depending on where you get it. And you can literally wear that anywhere. You don't have to buy separate shirts with all that stuff in there. And as far as these go, I think these are amazing for like, put them right here when you need to. And you can also, you put them down, and whenever you're sleeping, you can put your arms on them. So this has been one of my favorite products. And trying to think of anything. Oh, yes, these. You're going to need some of these. Get yourself some gauze pads, okay? Because your drain's going to leak once or twice, and then you're going to wish you had this. That is definitely one of my top recommendations. So I guess that's it for now. This is my day 5 update and tips and tricks of making the Mi-Diep procedure a little bit easier and recovery easier. I will update you with a drain cleaning video, and, you know, of course, always ask questions, comment if you have anything. Hopefully this will help you, and take care. I will check in with you soon, tomorrow, hopefully. Oops.